All right, Gator, we got a depth chart from the Detroit Lions. You know me. I love depth charts, and I love artist renderings. So, looking at this, and I'm trying to figure out, they've got extra players that are kind of listed, and it almost looks like they have them listed as starters, but they don't. They aren't starters. The wide receiver spots, the 3 wide receiver spots. Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown. No surprises. Jamison Williams, Denzel Mims, and Khalif Raymond are listed as the primary backups. Antoine Green, the rookie, is 3rd on the depth chart and one of the wide receiver spots, as in maybe the surprise of camp, Dylan Drummond, the wide receiver out of Eastern Michigan, listed as 3rd. Trinity Benson is listed 4th.
Do you know he's still on the team?
No.
All right.
Actually, I did, but am I surprised he's still on the team?
Well, that's a whole issue.
Offensive line, no shocker.
Well, how about right guard?
Halpulavati Vaitai is listed as a starter.
Okay, over Graham Glasgow.
Yeah, they got Glasgow as a backup. Excuse me. No surprise on the offensive line. Tight end. What do you think is listed as a starter?
Sam Laporta.
Brock Wright is listed as a starter. Sam Laporta, number 2. James Mitchell, 3. The quarterback, again, Jared Goff, Nate Sudfeld, Adrian Martinez, Hendon Hooker, Teddy Bridgewater, not yet assigned to the roster. David Montgomery listed as a starting running back. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2. Justin Jackson, 3. Craig Reynolds, 4. Jamar Jefferson, 5. Mo Ibrahim, 6. Jason Kabinda is listed as the starting fullback. Defense. They've got a 4-2-5 defense listed here. The ends, Charles Harris and Aiden Hutchinson. The backups, John Kaminsky backing up Harris, Pascal backing up Hutchinson. James Houston and Julian Okwara are your 3rd stringers. The starting tackles, Aleem McNeil and Isaiah Buggs. The backups, 2 fascinating guys.
Broderick Martin.
Yep.
And Levi Anzarike.
That is correct. Really interesting to see. I feel like these are 2 high-ceiling guys. I feel like Anzarike is a high-ceiling guy whose career has never gotten off the ground because of injury. Broderick Martin's a great mystery to me, but he is listed as a backup, as 2nd string. Starting linebackers, there's 2 of them.
Anzalone.
Yep.
And Derek Barnes.
Correct. With backups Jack Campbell and Malcolm Rodriguez. The corner spots. 2 corners.
All right, so you got Jerry Jacobs.
Yep.
And free agent that got Sutton.
Cam Sutton, well done. Your 2 backups. Starling Thomas is listed as a 2nd stringer. This is a guy who was an undrafted free agent out of UAB that we talked about after they signed him as a guy with real potential to make this team. He and Chase Lucas are listed as the primary backups. See what happens when Emmanuel Mosley is healthy. It's a little concerning that he's not ready to go yet, isn't it?
A little bit, though. He says he'll be back real soon. But I am getting a little nervy about when he does come back. I want to make sure he has plenty of time to get acclimated. I'm sure he's working out and doing some running and stuff like that. So hopefully he's in shape when he comes back.
The nickel cornerback. The starter is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Brian Branch, the backup, Will Harris, 3rd string. Starting safeties, Tracy Walker and Kirby Joseph. With Ifeatu Melifonwu and Savion Smith, your backups. Here's what's interesting. They list a starting kicker. I'll just give it a huh. As you gave it a I'm not going to give it a whoa. Riley Patterson is listed as a starting kicker. Parker Romo, 2nd string. Things that stand out here. Obviously, it feels like in spite of all the talk of rookies starting, I'm not sure the Lions wanted to hand any rookie a starting spot in their first unofficial depth chart that they hand out. Romeo Okwara is listed at 4th string defensive end. Do you think that's significant at all?
I was going to ask where he was on the chart,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure. That's a question I'd like answered, and maybe the answer is simply, look, we're doing a whole bunch of rotation. This thing is look. I already know the answer. This is a fluid situation. This is just don't read too much into the depth. Yeah, don't read into the depth chart. This is just what we're doing. But I am surprised a little bit that he's that far down on the one. It's obviously the two defensive end positions, but yeah. I mean, look who's out of them: James Houston, Josh Paschal, and then the starter Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, according to this, they have 7 defensive ends. Romeo Aquara is 4th string. Again, if this is in any way significant, this is...
And he's getting paid the most, right?
I would have to go back and look. He might be, yeah, because he, second contract. I do also find it really interesting, a couple guys, Starling Thomas being a second-string corner and Dylan Drummond being a second-string wide receiver. Two things that kind of, I'm sorry, he's listed, my bad. Dylan Drummond's listed 3rd string, so that's on me, my bad. But Starling Thomas being on the second team, that's interesting to me. That guy must be, I mean, everything we've heard, he's done enough to be listed ahead of a couple of veterans, although Emmanuel Mosley coming back probably changes that. So.
Yeah, maybe that's the same thing with Aquara's situation. Prove that you're healthy, and then you'll shoot up the depth chart.
Yep. Anyway, anything stand out to you, Kang, or do you not care?
No, it's not that I don't care. I try not to look into these too deeply because you never know if they just want to get better looks at certain players in certain situations, right? Like, I guess during practice, Sudfeld was going against the number 1 defense for the Lions. They want to see where he's at. Yeah, the Giants.
Yeah.
But by the way, what I do kind of take into account a lot is all the reports coming up right now in real time.
Yeah.
Are the Lions are dominating the Giants in this practice.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like, the defense, Daniel Jones can't get anything done. They're going more than 4 downs. They can't get a first down. Lions players were celebrating. But, I take it with a grain of salt, too, because...
These things flip on the day.
Yeah.
Watch tomorrow. The Giants will be dominating.
Do we know if Saquon Barkley is practicing today?
I have not seen anything on Saquon yet.
Okay.
One thing that I do find interesting about this is that they've got 7 running backs. They got 6 running backs and a fullback. So how many of these guys get roster spots?
Mm-hmm.
When you look at Mo Ibrahim, you and I both like him a lot.
Yep.
Watched him play in the Big Ten for years.
Practice squad.
He was just steady Eddie guy. Yeah, is it practice squad guy? And then if he is, then who's odd man out? You've got Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson, and one of those guys the odd man out. I don't know how many guys you can have in the practice squad from that position. How many you want to have? Justin Jackson brought back, and he's the 3rd string guy. So,
yeah, I mean, it's again trying to make sure we don't overreact to any of this. I'm a little surprised to see Mo Ibrahim listed basically last.
Again, it's a depth chart.
It's a depth chart, and it's the first one put out, and it's unofficial.